Hi guys, this is Omer from MMOHut.com, and I'm going to do a first impression gameplay video here for Allods Online. Now I'll spend about 5-10 minutes running around, checking the game out, making some quick comments. If you want to play Allods Online or just learn more about it, check out our full review on MMOHut.com on the link on the right sidebar. Now this game actually just went into open beta today, and I already did a closed beta first look into the game, but I figure since it's already just released today into open beta and it's really popular, I'll just go ahead and check out the game again and just talk about it. Now, I made my character over here. He's basically a human paladin, although his race isn't called human. The game has right now 6 playable races, 8 classes, and a whopping 28 different archetypes. And what archetypes really are in this game is, if you play as a human paladin or another class paladin, they're actually different. So if I played as a warrior on one race and a warrior on another race, they would both be warriors, but they'd still have their distinctly different abilities. So in World of Warcraft terms, if you played a human warrior or an orc warrior, they're basically the same thing. In this game, they're not. They're actually different based on what race you play. And that's what the game calls archetypes. And you can see how many people are just running around in this game. It just went to open beta literally like 20 minutes ago and I logged in. And I basically had to complete a quest over here. I had to kill 5 of these POWs. And they're in this area over here. Though the game is really packed right now, so it may be a little bit difficult for me to complete these quests. And I'm running the game only on somewhat high resolution, and the game's graphics are absolutely gorgeous. Much of these guys over here are already camped though, because there's a lot of people trying to complete these beginner quests right now. So if you're really interested in this game, it may be a little bit of a hassle to play it early on because all the newbie quests over here are just packed. I got soldiers inviting me to a party over here. Let's party with him and kill some of these dudes. It's just really hard to get the aggro on these monsters because it's not going to happen. Now, what I really like though is the game's graphics. If you played Runes of Magic or World of Warcraft, obviously the graphics are extremely similar. It's actually fair to call this a WoW clone because really just about every aspect of the game is very similar to WoW, at least in terms of core gameplay and visuals. I can look at my character sheet over here. I'm already level 4. Yeah, the game's races are kind of hard to pronounce. I'm a Exad the Guinean Paladin. You can see my resist over here. And since I'm level 4 already, I've already gained 3 stat points. Each level basically gives you 1 stat point. And you can distribute it amongst the game's many stats over here. There's a boatload of these actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 14 of the game's stats over here. And wow. So even though you only get 1 stat point per level, there's a whopping 14 stats. So it's really cool because everyone's going to be a little bit different. With so many stats, it's going to be hard for everybody to be too similar. If I click N over here, I can bring up my talent tree over here. I have 2 talent points to distribute amongst my talents. And this also looks a little bit similar to World of Warcraft, but right now there's only 1 talent tree. I'm sure it'll get more in depth later on. I'm not even sure. Now, if you're into these kind of games for the PvP, you won't be disappointed with the Allods. I know I'm supposed to be killing these prisoners of war, but it's just impossible right now. They're heavily camped, and you can just see how much hype there was about this game, how much anticipation. All these guys just logged into this game within 20 minutes of the game's official launch. I'm going to just go ahead and run outside over here and just try going somewhere else because this is just not going to happen. I will not be able to kill those guys. Now for PvP, the game has, world PvP like in World of Warcraft and contested zones. It also has arena-based PvP, and the game's most unique aspect is the ship-based PvP. You can actually literally fight other teams on ships, and it's supposed to be really intense. And I did grab a few quests down there, but I just can't complete those right now. There's way too many people, and it's such a hassle. And you can see that the visuals look really nice. That guy just cast this spell, and it did look awesome. I do plan on playing this a little bit longer, so if you guys do want to play with me, I'm on the Tennessee server, and I am on the Empire side. The game's 2 factions instead of Horde versus Alliance, or Empire versus League. And it's not surprising to see a faction like Empire. It seems to be popping up everywhere. There's always an Empire. I'm in this underground area over here, and this is where the game kind of tosses you after you complete the tutorial. The game's tutorial was actually pretty fast-paced. You finish it in like 5-10 minutes, and it's pretty rewarding as well. You can't really skip it, but after finishing it, you get a good deal of equipment. I got all this green equipment from doing it, and it gives you some stats, so it's definitely worth completing. So I do feel like I have a decent amount of starting equipment, and I should be able to hold my own over here. I just left that underground area. This is the game's loading screen. This was actually one of the most expensive free-to-play MMOs ever to be developed. It was developed by a Russian company. I think it cost them over $10 million to make. Obviously, it's not, huge numbers compared to World of Warcraft and the big pay-to-play games, but this really sets a new standard for the free-to-play genre. I mean, it has an excellent amount of content, huge cities over here. Interface is solid. But again, you could sort of, you know, knock on it for being sort of a WoW clone. But in my opinion, I mean, with how successful World of Warcraft, that guy's glitching over there. Look at that guy. With how successful World of Warcraft is, it's really no surprise that it's going to get a lot of copycats. And really, this actually looks a lot nicer than Runes of Magic, graphically speaking. And the whole environments look a little bit different too. The game looks almost like an industrial era. Over here, there's like these big factories. Those airships look really cool. I really wish I could show you those. They kind of remind me of the airships from Final Fantasy. Combat though is a little bit weird. You have your skills down here, which you just get as you level up, at least early on. And in order to attack, I literally have to click attack every time. If I just stand still and don't hit anything on the keyboard, my character will not auto attack. I have to keep clicking one to do even my basic attack. As a paladin, I have these other attacks as well. And really, what I find early on, it just makes more sense to just hit 1, 2, and 3 for your hockey. Just keep spamming them because it's annoying to just wait for them, wait for them to cool down. I just mash all 3 at once. I mean, I'm sure late game it makes combat more interesting, and you know you have to use the right skills at the right time. But I feel early on it's a bit weird. I'm just mashing all my keys. I'm killing these city crows over here. At least this area isn't too packed. But that's probably because everyone's still completing the missions in the underground area I was at. So in like 10 minutes, even this area will be packed. There is a good deal of quests. You rarely will be grinding outright. The game did a really good job of setting itself up so instead of grinding, you're doing quests, and it's really linear though because after you complete one quest in one zone, you can just go right to the next zone and complete those quests. But I'm good with quests. Instead of grinding, I might as well be helping some NPCs do whatever they want. And I'm getting my ass kicked by these crows. I don't know why. I keep missing. Ability not ready yet. I'm running out of energy over here. And think of energy in this game as the energy from World of Warcraft. It seems like all the classes really utilize this instead of mana. I played as a warrior in the last closed beta, and I also had an energy bar, so I guess the game kind of replaces the game's mana pool and rage with something called energy, and it's just something all the classes use. Or seems to use, I'm not even sure. Let me loot this scrap over here. Wow, this termite's tough stuff. Combat though is pretty fluid, other than just mashing all my keys. You can see my attack animations over here. The game's character creation was pretty impressive as well. There's a decent amount of customization options, so your character could look different. But really, your character really does end up looking different after you do your own talent trees, all your stats. I mean, the game's max level right now is level 40 in the open beta. I'm sure they're going to change that when the game officially releases to a little bit higher. But yeah, you can really enjoy all of the game's content up to level 40 right now. But again, that will take a little while. Experience rate early on is pretty fast paced. I mean, I got the level 4 in the tutorial right away because finishing quests there were really easy. I really should be doing some quests now instead of killing these stupid crows, so let's walk around a little bit. Wow, I just got pigeoned by the crow. Now, let's see what else I have over here. I'm gonna explore my options. This is the game's main city, I believe. Nezdebugrud. Can I see the whole area? Yeah, I can see some other areas in my map over here. Wow. Even the game's map looks a little bit like World of Warcraft. At least the game's art behind the map. But I do want to commend the guys behind this game as it doesn't fit the same fantasy theme exactly. Like I said, even the buildings in the game's architecture looks a little bit different. And that's really a welcome change because Runes of Magic just outright copied WoW. And again, that's not a huge complaint with the game, but at least you have a little more variety and different, uniqueness over here. Man, I'm getting ganked by these termites, and I can't even run away because I'm getting poisoned. Man, for some reason I'm not dropping though. I got some excellent armor. So early on, it is a bit difficult to die. Man, these guys can't touch me. I'm getting ganked, but I'm holding my own. You have your quest log over here. And the game's interface, I also want to point out, is just really well done. You see your quests, completed quests. And my spellbook over here. I don't know why they call it spellbook for Paladin. More like my melee attack in there too. And my rank and some of my skills. Now, you may have some difficulty getting on this game. It went to open beta about 40 minutes ago now since recording. And at first, I couldn't even log on because the servers were just packed. It was crashing left and right. And I like when you kill a monster, it tells you how much experience you gain for that monster and how much more you need to level up. And I'm going to guess this purple meter over here. Yep, it is my experience meter. I kind of want to run away from these guys, but I really can't. They keep poisoning me. Alright, I'm out. I'm safe. Now, again, it's possible to escape from these dudes. I do recommend questing for sure. And don't just start grinding mindlessly. It's so much... Whoa, they just died. I don't know why. No, really, why'd they just drop? Doesn't make any sense. Yeah, there's bound to be some bugs in the game, though. It just came out. Now, well, that's really all the time I have, guys. If you guys want to check out Allods online or just play with me, check out our full review on MMOHut.com and play on, remember, play on the Tennessee server on the Empire side. Later, guys.